Ron? Where are you? Where is Ron right now? You done messed up, Ron!
Ron is here once again. Thanks for joining me. We're going to watch another Tampa Brad video, you guys. For those of you just joining us, Tampa Brad is a guy who joined Scientology during the pandemic because of Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone likes to promote Scientology. You know, he already Grant Cardone likes to deal in several different types of fraud. Investor fraud, real estate fraud, all sorts of fraud. And that includes selling the fraud of Scientology. So I said in my last video, just imagine the kind of guy who watches Grant Cardone videos and goes, oh yeah, I want some of what that guy's having. And that, and you wind up with Tampa Brad. People wonder, is anyone actually joining Scientology these days? Well, here and there, you get people like Tampa Brad. Now, Tampa Brad has been unintentionally, hilariously documenting his time in Scientology, his experience joining, and I'd say moving up through the ranks, but he's not really moving up through the ranks. He's just doing a little bit of Scientology here and there. So Brad put up a video. Scientologist explains why he charges his employees for training, the principles of exchange. This, guys, we have to watch. Let me just show you real quick. This is his channel, Tampa Brad. He's been plugging away at this thing for many, many years, well before he joined Scientology. And, you know, I want to help him get a little bit more subscribers. You know, no, I don't want Scientologists to think that I've just hated on them all the time. Sometimes I help them get subscribers and views on YouTube. So here we go. Scientologist explains why he charges his employees for training.
Hey, what up? It's Tampa Brad.
Here we go.
I'm actually at our offices here in Tampa on a Sunday morning. It's like, I think 9 a.m. And what I'm doing here today is I'm actually running some sales training. So I'm training our salespeople, the top ones first, by the way. But I wanted to.
By the way, guys, I have not yet watched this video. You and I are watching it together live. It's one thing. Okay, he just admitted that he's the one conducting the sales training. It's not like he hired Grant Cardone to come and do it, and you know his employees need to pay like a little cover charge to cover the expense. He's training his own employees, and he's charging them for it.
Tell you a little lesson that I learned from my church, the Church of Scientology, about training and the value of it, and actually keeping your value in, so to speak, like, you know, versus it being out or not there. And so what we're doing here today is we're doing sales training, like I said, for construction specifically, right? So we run a construction company, and we're doing some hardcore, like we're actually looking at projects. We're like, okay, how do you price this? How would you pitch this to the person? How would you adjust it? What problems are you going to run into? How are you going to deal with those problems? What are you going to give up out of the scope without discounting your price? Because you're not allowed to discount here. That's not a sales strategy. Discounting is that's a coward's way out. It's like suicide. Actually, that's a good idea. Oh man, I'm going to coin that. Seriously, but in construction, discounting is it's a coward's way out.
By the way, before we get too far into the video, if you are an employee or a former employee of Home Love Construction and you were charged for sales training and you would like to explore legal options, please contact me privately and we're going to do something about this. I'd love to know, did you have to pay up front? Was it docked from your pay? Was this training even optional? He says we're starting with our best. Okay, is it optional? Anyway, there's many things potentially very illegal about what Brad is openly admitting to on the internet.
So we're here to handle that today. We started last night. We got 2 blocks today, and then next weekend we're doing a block on Saturday night and then 2 on Sunday as well. And so 15 hours. But
the training is being conducted outside of normal working hours. Normally, Brad would have to pay his employees to be doing this work training outside of their work hours, and yet he's having them pay him. I cannot wait to see what else he says in this video.
The important point about this is I'm training salespeople who are going to then go and sell for me, right? So it's probably like, okay, they just come, they do it. No. These people are paying to do it. And that's something that actually I learned from my church. And because I pay to go there and to learn stuff like how to handle life, how to handle work, how to handle study. You know, I took this course that I paid for on how to study, and it completely completely changed my life. I can learn anything and I can teach anybody anything because of that course. And when somebody's like doesn't seem to be able to learn something, I know exactly why. There's only 3 reasons. There's only, if you want to know what those 3 reasons are, send me a message on Instagram. I'm Tampa Brad there. But what I learned is, keeping the exchange happening. Grant Cardone is a big fan of saying, what you pay for, you pay attention to, or more succinctly, when you pay attention. So that's the thing. So this 15-hour course, it's $2,000. So it's $2,000, but what they're getting out of it is worth way more than $2,000. I mean,
he already admitted in this video that he's training the salespeople so that they can sell for him. And he's charging his salespeople $2,000 to receive the sales training that he's giving them so that they can make money for his company. This is illegal, right? This is illegal.
In construction, you close a $100,000 deal, you're going to make somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000 as the estimator on that. So that's just the industry standard. That's what you're going to make. So, they could take this knowledge and they could go anywhere and they could apply it. And what I'm teaching them, nobody can ever take away from them. It's not like, hey, I gave it to you, but I need it back. Hey, I gotta get that knowledge back. So it would actually be a problem of exchange. It would be what you might call out exchange. If in and out means like, if it's in, it's there. If it's out, it's not there. So you're just keeping the exchange going back and forth, because it took me this knowledge of how to sell construction deals, how to price them, how to sell them. It didn't come free to me. I had to pay dearly for that stuff, like dearly, like blood, sweat, tears, more tears, crying into my pillow at night about how much money I'm losing on a project. Like that's hard-won experience, and so I want them to value it. Like
by the way, this guy doesn't have some history in the construction industry. He actually went to the what's it called, West Point. The West Point, is it military academy? He actually graduated, but he was discharged from the military before he finished his required years of service, to the best of my knowledge. Then he went off and sold patchouli oil for a while. Not a joke. He basically has failed at everything he tried in life. And then he stepped into the contractor business that his stepdad created or has had for a while. And he's basically figuring it all out as he goes. But he's now going to train his salespeople how to really get the job done. By the way, anyone who has even the tiniest understanding of sales and marketing would probably know you would never want to market your company and Scientology at the same time. And yet this guy has created an entire channel just to promote how much Scientology he applies in his business. The guy's objectively a moron, but he's going to charge his employees $2,000 for the privilege of hearing his expertise. This is truly incredible.
I do. And, I'm so glad that I learned this lesson, because 2 years ago, I would have never thought to charge for teaching my own employees my knowledge. And, people are so worker oriented today. They're going to be like, you should pay them. You should just be happy they're working for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
yeah,
maybe they should be happy they're working for me. We have a great atmosphere. We have to do all this stuff before
2 years ago, it never would have occurred to me to charge my employees to train them to do the job they're doing for me. But thanks to Scientology and Grant Cardone, I've turned a new leaf, and I charge my employees for everything.
Fire somebody, we can't just fire somebody off the cuff. Like it's we pay people super well here. Like I think people should be very happy to work for me, and a lot of people really are. So if you're a business owner, if you're somebody like me who's business minded, you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to make something happen in your life, despite what you may have seen in the media, or despite what you may assume, if you roll up on your local Church of Scientology or Scientology mission, there's smaller missions all over the United States and the world for that matter. Just rolling up and doing a course that costs $50, you know, could be life-changing for you. And I know it was for me. There's a certain course called Personal Values and Integrity, and that changed everything for me. It just changed everything. You know, it really, just the information there was stuff that I was like, wow, I can't believe somebody else put into words what I've been thinking my whole life, you know, maybe even longer.
If you've already been thinking it your whole life, then how was reading it life-changing? You are so stupid.
Maybe I've been thinking it longer than my whole life. And if you want to know how that's possible, message me on Instagram. I'm Tampa Brad there. And by the way, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for sure. You know, I do videos on this, sharing my wins and how I'm applying it. So if you're a Scientologist and you're looking for, you know, another person who is a fellow group member and looking to see how they apply what they're learning, definitely subscribe, because I try to really break down how I personally apply it. You know, I don't want to you know, evaluate anybody else's situation, and I don't want to interpret things for you. The best thing to go and actually look at, you know, the actual references themselves, you know, what LRH actually wrote. That's the best thing you can do. But if you want some context on what somebody else is doing, that's what I'm here to provide. So you know, if that's value, definitely hit the subscribe button. But the thing that I want this to be a short video, because I got to get in and bust it down with these mofos. I got to break it down math kindergarten style here. No, seriously, we're actually doing some advanced shit today. We're doing kitchen renovations. But the thing that I would leave you with is if you are training your employees, you know, you got to have some sort of there's got to be some sort of exchange for that. You know, there has to be like a minimum performance requirement before they've you know, paid that off. You know, there's got to be like, hey, you sell, I'm gonna do this training on you. I'm gonna invest this time and put together this training, but you've got to perform at X level for X amount of months or years, and then we're square. You know,
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on.
You may have seen in the media who is a fellow group member busted down with these. The thing that I would leave you with is if you are training your employees, you know, that they've you know, paid that off. You know, there's got to be like, hey, you sell, I'm gonna do this training on you. I'm gonna invest this time and put together this training, but you've got to perform at X level for X amount of months or years, and then we're square. You know,
That's insane. So a number of months or years. So he's charging them $2,000, but then he has them set up on some sort of a plan where if I give you this training, you are required to work for me for a certain amount of time, or else you actually owe me money if you quit. Highly, highly illegal. Please contact me if you have done on the job training with Home Love Construction and Tampa Brad here, and you were told that you owed him money when you left, and I will refer you to an attorney who can help you out.
You know, so they have that deal. They have that deal too for the people who don't have you know, the cheddar to pay for it.
Oh, that's if you didn't pay for it up front. If you have worked for Home Love Construction and were required to pay up front for job training, please contact me and I will introduce you to an attorney who can help you out.
So, you know, don't be afraid of doing that as a business owner, because it's so far for me, it's been wildly successful. People actually apply what they're learning when they're
Unbelievable.
paying for it. So don't be afraid to charge what you're worth. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below. It does help me out a lot. And if you want more information about, you know, just different Scientology courses, or you're like, yeah, you know, I'm interested, but I don't know how to approach it, you can message me on Instagram. I'm Tampa Brad there. And I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you in the next vid.
Can you imagine working for this clown? Man, the last guy in the world to find out that Scientology and the internet doesn't mix. Guys, there's a lot more where this comes from. I didn't realize I was missing so much gold on Tampa Brad's channel. I've probably done 5 or 6 reviews of other videos that he's done, but Scientology's already made this guy take down several videos that he did, because he'll start losing his train of thought. He'll start getting off into territory Scientology doesn't want Scientologists talking about. Like he was doing videos like, why Scientology is not a cult. And his Scientology overlords had to come to him and be like, bro, stop putting videos on the internet that essentially says people think Scientology is a cult. They're like, we've already invested hundreds of millions of dollars into multimedia production studios. And you know, we have people who handle our online material. I mean, Scientology's online material is funny enough as it is, but they're like, we don't need your help. And yet he keeps doing this. He keeps doing this. Scientology cannot be happy with this kind of stuff. Anyway, we're going to keep documenting his path into and up over across Scientology's bridge to total freedom. And this was a lot of fun. Watching this stuff live is much better than, you know, doing it on a video and editing all up. It's much more fun watching it for the first time with you guys. So thanks for joining me on this, guys. And we'll do more of this soon. I have some other stuff planned for tonight, but I'm getting a little tired. We'll see. Not sure. So I'll talk to you tonight, or I'll see you guys tomorrow. Either way, talk to you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.